Last night, after they beat Newcastle United 3-2, the rain was falling, nothing new there. They got on the pitch, they stayed on the pitch, and Ten Hag gave us something of a rallying cry. Let's have a listen.
On behalf of the players, staff, myself, I want to thank you all for the brilliant support during the season. As you know, it wasn't an easy season, but one thing remained constant, and that was the begging of you for the team. But the season is not over yet. First, we travel to Brighton, where we go for 3 points, and then we go to Wembley. And I promise you that those players will give everything, but then everything, to get that cup, to win the cup, and bring him to Old Trafford. We thank you. You are the best supporters in the world. Thank you.
So we've got a strap line over the YouTube and Facebook coverage there. Ten Hag booed during speech. There was something of that at the beginning of it, but it was fairly rousing towards the end. In his programme notes, he says, Arsenal's strength is a result of years of continuity and process. In other words, give us time. But he says at the end, we all know we need to improve next season. Do you know what? I looked at it last night. I thought, fair play to you. Fair play to you. You've had to deal with a lot, but he's giving it, come on, get behind us. We're going to Wembley to win this damn thing, even though it's Manchester City.
Yeah, well, he would do, wouldn't he? I mean, you're not going to expect anything less. I mean, my first impressions of Ten Hag were underwhelmed. I think you get one opportunity to make a first impression, and the rest of the time you're either maintaining it or trying to retain some sort of standing as a result of the impression that you created. I didn't think he had the substance then. I don't think over the last 2 years I've seen much to suggest that he has the ability to lead Man United to where they want to go. Is he a capable manager? Of course he's a bloody capable football manager. No one debates that. But is he capable of leading Man United? Were they booing him? No. Look, the strapline is they booed him. I don't know if it was Newcastle fans. I don't know if it was United fans.
Yeah, I don't think it was
I listened to his words and I thought, yeah, that's really easy because your players have done none of that for most of the season.
Yeah, but
so
he would have promised me if Newcastle had won last night, Simon.
But they didn't.
He got on his feet, went out there. I think it was a bit sabre rattling that went down all right.
Well, of course it would be sabre rattling, and fortunately for him, he got it off the back of a win against Newcastle, which is fair play to them. They won that game, and you have to give them credit because they were pathetic against Palace a week ago, and they weren't that much better against Arsenal.
Yeah.
So fortunately, they got themselves against Newcastle, who weren't great. But they did the job, so you can only praise where praise is due, and they've won that game. So it made his speech slightly easier for the Man United faithful to listen to. Of course he's going to go out on a pitch and say the things he's said. Do I walk away from that conversation going, oh, I've changed my mind. I see the future. I see Ten Hag as this leader. No, I think he is what he is, a capable football operator that won't get United back where they need to go because the opposition he's competing against, both in the dugout and on the pitch, are better all around.
Well, I think Manchester United fans were behind him last night with that bit of sabre rattling, and they're behind him this morning on the booing. Gavin, I knew you'd mention the booing. That was Newcastle fans. For goodness sake, talkSPORT. Well, I mean, we mention it because you can't be too sure, can you? But there's another United fan. It was Newcastle fans who were booing because you heard us cheer towards the end. I think they got behind him. The fact of the matter is, Simon, it's a huge game, the cup final for him at Wembley.
Of course it is.
And if they win it, he's like, right, you with me now? If not, I think, does he carry on?
Well, look, if you subscribe to the view that winning in the FA Cup for Manchester United is a get out of jail card for the United side to be back part of the top echelons of the Premier League, dominating the Premier League, then fine, that's your subscription, that's your view.
Yeah.
It didn't salvage an opportunity for Louis van Gaal. I don't think it will for Ten Hag. And here's the thing. I don't think they've got a hope in hell of beating Manchester City at Wembley. If Manchester City decide that they don't need to turn up and they're going to take this game very casually, then United might get an outcome. But I don't think they will.
So they've got a chance. They've got a chance. They wouldn't show up if they didn't.
Well,
they've got a chance.
Well, they've got a puncher's chance.
How many times in a cup final has the underdog surprised us?
Well, against Manchester City?
On many occasions.
Wigan. once, yeah.
On many occasions.
Yeah.
Oh, way back.
Yeah.
Was it 1976? Southampton beat Manchester
But that's
United.
when you've got an underdog mentality, a real underdog mentality, when you're playing Southampton playing Man United, or you've got West Ham playing Arsenal in 1980, or you've got Wigan playing Manchester City. This is Man United against Manchester City.
Sure.
And this Manchester City side are a very different animal.
Yeah.
So, look, I would be surprised, as a lot of people would be, if Ten Hag is still in situ at the end of the season or going into the next season. But if he can't deliver a speech at the end of the season with a cup final coming on next, then really and truly he's even more useless than I possibly think he is already.
Let's put it out there. I mean, there's another one coming in. Red. He calls himself Red. I was there last night. Newcastle fans booed, guys. The hardcore fans stayed behind and they sang after they heard Ten Hag. Fair enough. What was it, though? Was it a rallying cry from Ten Hag, or was it virtually it's getting close to goodbye from me? 03717 223344. You're calling in big numbers anyway. We haven't even asked you to, and that's great by us. Call in. Let's hear from you. 03717 223344 81089. Were you impressed by Ten Hag at the end? Give us a shout on that.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.